Hi, my name is Laura. I work at the Thunder Bay Public Library, and I'm here today for our weekly chapter book story time. So the last couple of weeks we've been reading from a book called The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom. Very funny, very good book. I recommend that you go and check out our videos tab on the Facebook page, and you can see what we've read so far, or you can go on our YouTube channel. Just look for TBPL and you can find us there. But this week we've decided to go back to what we did the very first week we started, and we're going to read another choose your own adventure book. So this week we're reading Journey Under the Sea. Sounds pretty exciting already. I mean, last time we did the Caves of Time. That was, pretty wild. We ended up in some pretty crazy places. This time we're going to go under the sea. We have 42 separate possible endings, so I don't know where we're going to end up, guys, but we'll find out together. So I am reading this book with permission from the publisher. The publisher is called Choose Co, and they've given librarians and teachers permission to read this book during this time period, so thank you very much to them. So while we're reading this story, this Choose Your Own Adventure story, I'm going to reach parts where they're going to give us two options. We're going to have to pick one or the other. So if you want to vote to pick option one, then I want you to send me a thumbs up emoji. If you decide that we should pick option two, then I'm going to want you to send me a heart. That's how I'll know which option we should go with. You guys get to vote. So, I hope you make good decisions, because I don't know where we're going to end up. Should we get started? Okay, here we go. Journey Under the Sea. You are a deep sea explorer searching for the famed lost city of Atlantis. This is your most challenging and dangerous mission. Fear and excitement are now your companions. We're off to an exciting start. It is morning, and the sun pushes up on the horizon. The sea is calm. You climb into the narrow pilot's compartment of the underwater vessel Seeker with your special gear. The crew of the research vessel Murray screws down the hatch clamps. Now begins the plunge into the depths of the ocean. We're just jumping right in here. The Seeker crew begins lowering by a strong but thin cable. Within minutes, you are so deep in the ocean that little light filters down to you. The silence is eerie as the Seeker slips deeper and deeper. You peer out the thick glass porthole and see strange white fish drifting past, sometimes stopping to look at you, an intruder from another world. The cable attaching you to the Murray is extended to its limit. You have come to rest on a ledge near the canyon in the ocean floor that ancient myth says leads to the lost city of Atlantis. You have an experimental diving suit designed to protect you from the intense pressure of the deep. You should be able to leave the Seeker and explore the sea bottom. The new suit contains a number of the latest microprocessors, enabling a variety of useful functions. It even has a built-in waterproof smart tablet with laser communicator. You can cut loose from the cable. The Seeker is self-propelled. You are now in another world. And remember, this is a dangerous world, an unknown world. As agreed, you signal the Murray. All systems go. It's awesome down here. It's time for our first choice. Okay, so we have two options. One, if you decide to cut loose from the Murray and dive with the Seeker into the canyon and the ocean floor, we're going to pick option one. So if you want option one, thumbs up. If we decide to explore the ledge where the Seeker has come to rest, then heart emoji, right? So if you want us to, it sounds like maybe it's a little bit the dangerous choice, cutting loose from the ship. We don't have any connection anymore. We're just going to go diving and exploring. But if you think that's what we should do, thumbs up. If you think we should explore where we landed, maybe not go down any deeper, just see where we've ended up. It's already kind of creepy. We're all down here by ourselves. Looks like that's what people want to do. I'm seeing a lot of the heart emoji. So we're going to explore the ledge. I do have a question about whether or not we have any Choose Your Own Adventure books from the library. We don't have any books like this at the library, but we're going to order some in. Once we have reopened, you'll see that we do have a couple Choose Your Own Adventures in a different format, a couple superhero ones and a couple fairy tale ones too. But okay, I think for my voting, we are going to go with exploring the ledge. So let's see what happens. Uh-oh, out we go. We're in our dive suit. It's a tight fit, and it takes us some time to put it on. Finally, you slip from the airlock of the Seeker and stand on the ocean floor. It is a strange and marvelous world where your every move is slowed down. You begin the exploration with your halogen searchlight. The ledge hanging over the deep canyon is your starting point. Can you imagine being all by yourself, deep underwater? You'd look up, you would just see like nothing, just all around, surrounded by strange looking fish. I don't know, some people are scared of small spaces, and some people are scared of big open spaces like being under the ocean. I don't know which you would rather. Oh, here we go. A strange feeling overcomes you. Part warning, part terror. Then you see it. The Seeker is in the grips of a huge sea monster. Ah! Giant sea monster. It is similar to a squid. That's those ones with like all the super long legs. But it is enormous. The Seeker is just a toy in its long, powerful tentacles. You seek shelter behind a rock formation, knowing that the spear gun you hold will be useless against this monster. It looks as though it will destroy the Seeker. It's gonna just ruin the little ship we came in on. Fish of all sizes huddle with you in an attempt to escape the monster. Geez, you're just hanging out with the fish now, trying to hide from this giant sea monster. We have another choice to make again. All right, if you think we should pick this choice, you're gonna want the thumbs up. If we stay hidden close to the Seeker, thumbs up. Should we stay hiding behind this rock with these other fish? Or should we try to escape and hope that some rescuers will see us? Choice 2, heart emoji. What do we think? Do we want to stay hidden? I mean, it seems like that might be a good idea. Our other option to try and escape, the sea monster might see us, but like you can't stay hidden forever. You can't just keep hiding and waiting for something to happen. What do you think? Stay hidden, thumbs up, try and escape, heart? Think, oh, looks like we're gonna try and escape. All right, let's see what we can do. Moving cautiously, that means very carefully. You climb up the sides of the canyon, hoping to reach the ocean floor. Leaving the Seeker in the grips of the giant squid, you plan to signal for help, very smart, with a bright yellow dye marker that will float to the surface. The Marais crew members above have been instructed to watch for this emergency signal. They will send help. Once you reach the ledge above the canyon and feel slightly safer, uh-oh, you guys, we got away from the giant squid. We have a plan to get rescued, but now you see the most feared of all sea creatures, a huge, great white shark. It begins to circle towards you, and you know that you are its target. Terrifying. You wonder whether you should fire your emergency propulsion charge. Propulsion, that means like being punched forward. So we're wondering if we should send an emergency propulsion charge that will send us rapidly to the surface. The shark is fast. He might catch you anyway. You also know that you will get the bends from the rapid rise to the surface. The bends is a thing that happens when you move too fast from deep underwater. The pressure as it changes from all that pressure of the water coming down on you. When you go too fast, you get something called the bends, and you can start feeling sick, and it can actually be, it's not a very safe thing to have to deal with. So that's a tough decision. We might have a real sickness if we decide to do that. Should we fire the special propulsion target and get to the surface? Thumbs up if that's what we should try. It might get us sick, and the shark might catch us anyway, but should we give that a shot? If we decide to wait quietly, hoping the shark will go away, let's see, a heart emoji. So, 2 options. Are you the kind of person that likes to maybe take the safe option, wait and see what happens? That'll be the heart. We're just going to see if maybe the shark will go away on its own. Or do you like to take action, get out there, make things happen? Then you're going to want the thumb emoji. Looks like you guys want to try taking some action, you know? Maybe the shark will catch us, but maybe he won't. It's better than waiting around and seeing what happens. Yes, okay, definitely. Lots of votes. Lots of votes to go just see what happens. Uh-oh. You fire the special propulsion charge and zoom upward through the water, frightening schools of fish as you go. We're just flying past everybody. You become dizzy and lose track of where you are. The world seems upside down. The shark is nowhere around, you hope. Breaking through to the surface and floating about a half mile from the Marais, that was the boat we came in on, the Marais, you unsuccessfully try to reach them with your digital communicator. The lookouts spot you in the water and they quickly rescue you. Oh, look at that. Unfortunately, the rapid ascent, the ascent is when we went up, gave us a bad case of the bends. Ooh, it means that made us pretty sick. It takes a long time to decompress. And when you are finally all right, the ship's doctor informs you that your underwater days are over. Someone else will have to find Atlantis. You guys, that's the end of this story. We make that decision. It is where our whole adventure is done, our underwater adventure. I don't know about you. I think we should go back and pick another option and see where else we can end up. I think so. Yeah? Yeah. We barely got to explore anything. Sure, we saw a giant squid. That was cool, but like, come on, we gotta do some more stuff. Okay, we're gonna go back and try again. So this time, instead of firing the special propulsion charge, we're gonna go back, we're gonna wait quietly and hope that the shark goes away. All right, we got kicked out pretty fast this time. We gotta go back and try again. Uh-oh. You guys. It says we wait for the shark to go away. No luck. Other sharks are coming to join the hunt. This is not good at all. They circle you, coming closer and faster each time. There is no escape. The largest shark, jaws gaping, strikes. The end. The end. The end. Neither of those choices got us very good endings. One of them, we didn't even get to keep exploring. The other choice, a shark ate us. Oh no, I don't think that's very good at all. I think we're gonna have to go back again. Okay, I'm gonna jump back another point. Now we are back to the giant squid, trying to decide what we want to do. We decided to try and escape. We're gonna stay this time. The giant squid has our ship, but we are going to try to stay hidden close to the seeker. This book is just, we're making all sorts of decisions and it's finishing the whole story too fast. We have to try again. Okay, here we go. Right again, set the scene. We're deep underwater. We're all alone, by ourselves. There is a gigantic squid holding our undersea vehicle hostage. It looks like a toy in its hands because this giant squid is so big. The giant squid tosses and turns the seeker, but finally the creature grows tired of its new game and jets off in an enormous squirt of water. Look at that. We waited it out. It got bored. Hello from Shunya. Hello to you. It got bored and now we are free to leave our hiding place and examine our vehicle for damage. Something definitely could have got damaged a little bit. That giant squid wasn't playing very gently with it, I imagine. To your dismay, the airlock entrance has been jammed shut. Uh-oh, we are locked out of the seeker. The crew of the Marais, however, suspected trouble when you did not respond to a routine radio check. They are now lowering an escape platform. Once on the platform, you radio them to start the slow pull to the surface. To avoid the deadly bends, rapid expansion of nitrogen bubbles in your blood, that was the sickness we got last time, they will have to bring you up very slowly. Just as the platform begins to move, who comes back? The giant squid. It is headed directly towards you. Tough decision coming up. Okay, two choices. We want to pick choice number one, our thumbs up. If we decide to fight the squid with our spear gun, hoping to scare it off, thumbs up. Remember, our spear gun, not very big. Giant squid, giant. But, we could give that a try. What do we want to do? Or, choice number two, if we decide to signal the ship to pull us up at top speed, knowing that might make us sick, then we're going to pick choice two. And we're going to have a heart emoji. Not a thumbs up, but heart. So what do we think? If we decide to fight, thumbs up. If we decide to get pulled up out of the water, then I want to see some hearts. It's a tough call, Are you willing to get into a gigantic fight with a gigantic squid? Or would you rather take your chances getting pulled back up to the surface, but it might actually make you really sick? it looks like we're gonna go for it. We're gonna fight. You guys are tough. All right, let's try fighting. Let's see what happens. We do have a spear gun. We've got something. Let's see. With a rush of water, the giant squid attacks. Two 20-foot tentacles, that is so long, with their pulsing suction cups reach out to ensnare you. Ensnaring, that's a fancy way to say trapped. You dive off the platform and fire 2 of your spears. They strike the squid close to its 2 monstrous eyes, but the squid keeps on coming. One of the tentacles wraps around your diving helmet and ruptures the seal to your suit. Oh, that is not good news. You fire your last spear, hoping to hit the monster in a vulnerable spot. Water is beginning to trickle into your suit. You signal the moray to haul you up fast. Emergency hoist. You must have hit the squid. It floats away, writhing and thrashing. You think you're about to black out. That means you think you're about to pass out. So much is happening. You wake up on the deck of the moray and are quickly rushed to the decompression chambers to ward off the effect of the bends. There's that sickness again that you get if you come up too fast. Several days later, you're over the worst and starting to worry about diving into the abyss again. Can you do it? Do you have the nerve? Are you brave enough is the question. If you decide to quit the expedition, you've had enough of this underwater, crazy animals, all these dangerous things that can happen. If you've had quite enough, thumbs up if you decide to quit. But if you decide you want to go back down into the deep, explore some more, see what else you can find. Maybe there's another giant squid. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's some sort of crazy fish you could find. You could be the very first person to see those fish. You could name it after yourself. I always thought that'd be kind of neat. Not surprised. There you go. Brave picks. We decide we're going back in. Yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. You can't resist the adventure beneath the sea. You must go down again, and after several weeks of rest, you enter the Seeker and slip quickly into the deep. You bring the Seeker to rest by the Great Canyon in the ocean bottom. Wearing your special suit, you venture out into the depths. There are no signs of the giant squid, and you feel safe. Well, thank goodness, because that giant squid was bad news for us. So good thing we don't see it around anymore. Rounding a rock formation, you come upon the wreck of an ancient Greek ship. How strange to find this ship intact, so far below the surface. What brought it here? Was it visiting Atlantis before the lost continent slipped beneath the sea? You take pictures and make notes on your waterproof tablet. I mean, that's pretty cool gear. Maybe this ancient ship hides the secret to Atlantis. Before we make our pick, I just want to say a little bit about what Atlantis is, just in case you haven't heard of that before. There's a story that there was once a huge city called Atlantis, and it had all sorts of neat technology, and the people were happy, and they had all sorts of really good tools and food and businesses. But then one day something happened, we don't know what, and it disappeared beneath the sea. So some people believe that Atlantis was a real place, and that maybe we'll find where Atlantis actually is, the ruins, and then we'll know more about that city. Other people think maybe it's just a story that some people like to tell, but it wasn't actually a real place or anything that actually happened. So this book, our character, we're trying to find, I guess, one of the things we're doing is thinking, maybe while we're down here, we're going to find the secret to Atlantis. Why not? Okay, we've got a decision to make. If we decide to go aboard the Greek ship, thumbs up. We're going to go and explore this shipwreck. If we decide we want to return to the surface to report our findings, then we're going to have a heart emoji. What do you think? I mean, go exploring, see what's on the ship. Could be pretty neat. Who knows what kind of stuff we might find? You know, there could be maybe neat pottery or sculptures or art, or maybe it'll just be empty and we won't learn very much. Or we turn around and we go back up to the surface, go back to the ship, tell them what we found, maybe come down with someone else. Not as scary when you have company. Tough decision. Are we going to go exploring? Then we're going to want the thumbs up. If we're going to return up to the surface, then we need some hearts. What do you guys think? Looks like we're going to go aboard this ship. Yep. Okay, let's do it. We're going to go explore this Greek ship. Cautiously, you enter the ship's cabin. Clay jugs, once filled with oils and wines, are strewn about. Strewn about means they're just all over the floor. They're not very tidy. There are no remains of the crew. Well, I mean, I'm kind of glad that there's no remains of the crew, because if it was an old ancient Greek ship, like, what are we talking about? Skeletons? I don't want to see skeletons. No remains of the crew works for me. Excellent. You have a sense of being in ancient Greece. It is like being in a dream. A door leads to a smaller cabin. On a table near the rear of this cabin is a golden box. Sounds pretty fancy. Opening it, you find the remains of a map. It does not show Atlantis. It shows that the ship was searching for an access point that leads to the center of the earth. Okay, very cool. Not Atlantis. It's not a missing continent, missing city, but journey to the center of the earth. Okay, that's also a very fun adventure. You return to the Seeker and use the map to locate the shaft to the center of the earth. Using some guesswork to interpret the map, you discover the tunnel opening, which appears to be roughly 100 feet in diameter. The sonar readings indicate the shaft has no bottom. That means it's just a giant tunnel. And we used our equipment, and it can't find a bottom, so who knows how deep it is? Who knows how far this thing goes? Time to make a decision again. Thumbs up if you think we should descend that shaft. Should we start exploring? We don't know where we're going to end up, how far it's going to go. Or we decide it's time to turn around, go back up to the surface. I don't know, you guys. Should we explore some more? Like, we're thinking, if we follow this map, we're going into the center of the earth. That's a pretty awesome thing to explore. Or if we decide, no, we've had enough adventure, we're bored, let's go back up to the ship, then that's when I need to see some hearts. I've seen a couple thumbs up. Oh yeah, you guys want more adventure, obviously. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, why not go? Oh yeah, see, that's what we should do. Here we go, we're gonna go explore. Why not go? Who would believe it? The center of the earth. You push the control column forward and dive deep. Soon there's no more water, just a heavy gas that acts like water. You look at a world of colors and drifting forms. You pass by layers of rock and sand. Suddenly, you sail into a gooey mass that almost fouls the Seeker's propellers. The Seeker's engine stops, and you are pulled along through the semi-liquid material by something like gravity or magnetism. Something mysterious is pulling us along. Our engine's not even working anymore, but we're still moving. You burst through a thick elastic membrane and enter an area of giant atoms. Electrons whirl around you at high speed, but there's plenty of room to maneuver between these fast-moving particles. The electrons are revolving around a small mass you know is called the nucleus. You are able to avoid collisions with the electrons. What a world! Oh my goodness, you guys. The things that they're describing, a nucleus, electrons, those are all things that are normally extraordinarily tiny. But we've traveled into the center of the earth, and now we can see them really big. It's quite the adventure. If we continue on this trip to the center of the earth, if we want to keep going, I need to see some thumbs up. If we've decided we want to turn back, I mean, this has been really awesome, but we don't know where we are. Maybe it's time to turn around. Then I'd like to see some hearts. What do we think? We're going to keep going? I mean, we've come this far, right? Maybe we should see what happens next. On the other hand, I mean, things are getting pretty weird. We're in a gooey mass. We're moving forward without our engine. Like, maybe it's time to kind of turn around, maybe come back later with someone else to give us a hand. Tough call. You guys want to keep going? Sure, sure. Here we go. We'll keep traveling, see what happens. Okay. The electrons whirl about at dizzying speeds, and you continue until you get to a spot where your instruments indicate that there is no time. The digital clocks stop. The speed indicator stops. Your heart stops. and yet you are alive. Every sense in your body seems more alive than ever before. I think we've just, maybe we've hit the actual middle. Now we're just hanging out here. No time, no speed. Our heart is stopped, but we're still alive. You are aware of other beings close to you. No one has entered through the only hatch. Turning around, you see 3 Atlanteans. Okay, they're in the center of the earth with you, the Atlanteans. So not only did we journey to the center of the earth, we found Atlanteans as a part of Atlantis. Like, this is a very productive adventure, is all I'm saying. 3 Atlanteans. You feel that the Seeker, that's your ship, has become just a thought, and that the people from Atlantis have entered your mind and are aboard the Seeker. You try to enter their thoughts, but they tell you that you have not journeyed far enough to be able to become a thought traveler. Okay, here we go again. Do we want to try turning back from this strange world? We've got people inside our minds telling us things. If we think that we want to maybe turn around, we've had enough of this, it's getting kind of strange, thumbs up. If we decide that we want to travel in thought, time, space, then a heart emoji. We're already here. We came all this way. It hasn't hurt us. We're learning something. I mean, if you're still learning, why not keep traveling, keep journeying, see what happens? But if you think we should turn around, thumbs up. If you think we should keep going, then a heart emoji. We'll see. It's a tough decision, this one. I mean, things are getting pretty crazy weird in here. You know, thought speakers, thought travelers, I don't know. Oh, you guys want to keep going? We're going to travel through thought, time, space together? Okay, it's your call. A thought traveler. Last time we read a Choose Your Own Adventure book. If you weren't with us then, we were a time traveler. That was also pretty cool. You can find that on the videos tab of our Facebook page or on YouTube, where we traveled through time. Now we're traveling through thoughts. You realize that people do it all the time in daydreams. Of course you want to be a thought traveler, but how? The Atlanteans are going to tell us. Pretty neat. The Atlanteans speak softly and tell you that all things are the same: past, present, future. It simply requires you to concentrate and to put your thoughts where you wish them to be. You try, and amazingly, you are rapidly rushed through time to the day you were born, then to the day you made your first deep sea dive. Your mind flies from one time in your life to another, but when it comes to the future, you meet a blank wall. You can't seem to travel into the future. Why can't I travel ahead in time, you ask the Atlanteans. Be patient, they reply, all in good time. Suddenly, you whirl through time into the outer reaches of the universe, where you can actually feel the light going through you. You cast no shadow, and a sense of peace fills you. Can you try thought traveling? If you just think and concentrate really hard, put your thoughts where you wish them to be, could you remember the day you were born? I couldn't remember the day I was born. It's not going to happen. But, I mean, I think if you concentrate really hard, you might be able to remember some of your earlier memories. But I don't think, no matter how hard you concentrate, we're not going to be able to move into the future. Can't travel there. We have to just travel the boring way, just the normal way, by waking up again tomorrow, going through another day. Let's see though, we want to travel ahead in time. We're in a peaceful place where we cast no shadow. The light's going through us. We've got a decision to make again. If you decide to drop out of thought travel and return to Earth life, thumbs up. Had enough. This has been really exciting and interesting, but we're ready to go home. Or we don't want to go home. Things are just getting started. Keep going. Heart emoji. It's a choice to make. Are we had enough of this adventure? We think we've done thought travel. Sure, we haven't been able to see the future, but we were able to see the past. I think it'd be pretty neat to remember exactly what happened during some days in your childhood. That'd be kind of cool. So do we decide that we've had enough of that, or that we want to go back to Earth, or that we want to keep exploring and learning about thought travel? I think it looks like we're going to explore some more thought travel. All right, let's see. here we go. We're traveling, exploring our thought travel. One day, your friends, these are the Atlanteans, tell you that you can return to Earth if you wish. You consider it carefully and decide that because of your thought traveling ability, the life you now lead is the life you want. You decide to stay where you are forever. The end. The end! We traveled deep into the sea, journeyed under the sea, went way down, met a giant squid, saw a shark one time, found a shipwreck, explored the shipwreck, found a map, went in through the center of the earth, met Atlanteans, traveled through thoughts, and now we just decide that this is the life we want to lead forever. We're not going to go back home. I mean, I guess maybe you don't miss anybody because you can just go back in your memories anytime you want and relive the times that you spent together. But I think if it was up to me, if it was really me having this adventure, I would want to go home eventually. I think so. Let's check one more and see what happens. If we had decided to drop out of thought travel and return to Earth life, what would have happened? 1,000 years of thought travel later, oh boy, that's a lot of years. You are called into the main thinking room. Well done, human. Now you can return to your world if you wish. With great relief, you do return. What surprises greet you? The great cities of the world, New York, London, Paris, and Hong Kong, are overgrown with vegetation. The roads leading into the cities are barely visible, but you see signs of new settlements. There are clusters of buildings spread out in the countryside, but you don't see any smokestacks. There are few roads and no cars. The people live a simple life, providing themselves with food, shelter, and clothing. You go to join them. The end. So even in that ending, we decide to go back to Earth, but it's not until way into the future. Like I said, I guess that's one way to travel, to know what happens in the future, is just to travel through to get there. Those are both kind of sad endings too, because we don't get to go back to where we came from. We found some pretty interesting ways of ending our journey under the sea, guys. That was a pretty wild choose your own adventure. I think we found, what, like 4 or 5 or 6 different endings? You guys made some fun choices. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, reading this Choose Your Own Adventure book. Thanks again to Choose Co for letting us read it together and share it. So this video will be on the library's Facebook page under the videos tab, and also on our YouTube channel. And our other Choose Your Own Adventure video from a couple weeks ago is on there, and our chapters from the Hero's Guide to Storming Your Castle as well. So next week, we might do another Choose Your Own Adventure again. So we'll be back Tuesday night, 6:30 next week. Thanks so much for coming to read with me, guys. Have a good night. Goodbye.